Officially live again. Yeah.
Officially live. Well, that's fantastic.
We're officially live, man. We're a fish. I'm gonna
It's
play. I'm gonna play.
which aren't
I'm
real.
gonna play as the best faction. I'm gonna play as totally the best country in the world. You understand why I'm making that joke, don't you? As a British person. Ah, Jax.
You'll be in France.
Exactly why I'm making the joke. We have come to bring the French. What the hell was that, Jax? What was that noise?
What noise?
Was that you taking your microphone off in disgust?
I mean, it's close to. I mean, I see. Here's the thing. I can see you're playing as the French. You haven't run away from the trees.
I want to run away from the trees. We're French. We don't run away. We fight.
In the opposite direction from the fight.
Well, actually, technically, I'm the European Union. I'm just playing as the French. Out of it.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a very weird map. Okay, there's 2 oil derricks there and then a weird thing there. Okay. This mod is very weird, but it's like I kind of like it because it changes the factions to be kind of real world factions, but like in this weird dystopian world. Like America is split between the Alliance and like this other faction called that's just like the American Army.
Gregor would be upset with me for not letting you in. It's my lunch break. Actually, he wouldn't.
What the hell was that, Jax? Was that
What
correct?
was what?
Was that your game? I just randomly heard your game speaking to me.
Oh, did you? Oh, that was weird because it's not actually on that loud.
Like, is that Gregor or did he let you in?
That was true. Yeah, it's from my game. Bloody hell, it's a bit louder than I expected.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, Gregor, or did he just let you in? He's like, okay. Put that there. Building this. This is me playing a strategy game, and probably people are going to judge me for playing this game. But biggest set of news that has sort of happened recently, though, to date this video, is what the hell is going on over at Disney, apparently. There's the X-Men 97 coming out next week, and then immediately the week before, we have just had the guy that brought the show back, fired.
Oh, I mean, I'm half interested in subscribing to his OnlyFans to see what got him fired.
It's probably because it's
What?
against his contract, if you think about it.
Well, yes, there probably is a morality clause in his contract. Disney are very, very well known for that. But I've got a feeling in the modern day climate of things, and the fact that they are getting a little bit of, at least Bob Kiepenek is getting a lot.
Impulse
of,
protection upgrade completed.
Your game was loud. Was
Yeah, that's with the voices in this game turned to the lowest setting.
Oh yeah, so is it? I can't remember who's in charge. It's Bob Iger back in charge now, isn't it?
Yeah.
One of the Bobs. Anyway, yeah, the current Bob in charge that's come back. He's had issues with, shall we say, problems with understanding culture and diversity in some aspects. So a lot of, and especially seeing as how it looks like a lot of the Marvel films, at least, that have been dropped in his announcement, although there's not been any official announcements on most of what has been dropped, it is looking like it's all the ones that were fronted by black actors for the most part. And that's not a good sign just before you fire the guy in charge of your biggest animation thing that's probably going to come out this year, who is a gay black guy. So if it was just a standard OnlyFans, I've got a feeling their lawyers would have gone, this ain't worth the hassle, this is not the hill to die on.
No.
I'm wondering what was in that OnlyFans. I really want it to be a cosplay kink where he's dressed up as different Disney characters.
Oh yeah,
'Cause that would be-
it's going to be interesting to see what it's an interesting thing to come out of. Oh shit, what has actually happened here?
Oh, there was, I mean, weirdly enough, Disney do kind of have a weird history with stuff like this. Just making sure I've got the name right before I say this. I think it wasn't him, it was the other one. And I'm not going to say the name until I'm sure, because it would be...
It's dumb to say the wrong name.
I would not want to say the wrong name for what I'm about
Eurocopter
to
rocket pods.
say.
Upgrade completed.
Do you see what I mean by the volume is on really low? You can barely hear the unit voices, but anytime I research an upgrade, blow! It's like a fucking someone yelling at me for like I've just killed their parents. Like, the hell have I done wrong in this case? Also, this is very much an alternate world. Do you know why? You know how you can tell it is, Jax? Look at what they're using.
Cryogen jammer. Upgrade completed.
Before I get interrupted by that really loud voice again, look at what they're using to gather resources. I have airships.
Airships. Durables. Lovely.
This world, clearly the Hindenburg did not happen.
Really annoying. I can't remember the name.
Sabotage
I
airships.
think I can.
Upgrade
I just
completed.
can't find proof of what I'm about to say, but I know I've seen it. A very famous comic book artist from the early days made a supplemental income on making adult comic books, porn comic books. So, you know, you had some beautiful art in those. There was a subsection of these that had
Pilots training.
very
Upgrade
famous
completed.
Disney cartoon characters in these scenes. Which wouldn't be too bad if said artist hadn't also worked on some of their comic books back in the day.
Oh dear.
So they were spot on accurate.
That's a
You
bad...
think your deviant art of today was bad? Go back 50 years. Yeah. Porn comics were a popular thing. I mean, they were very, very mild. Some of them, not all of them, but most of them.
What was it? Felix the Cat? I remember that was a fucking weird ass show.
Felix the Cat. I don't know. Felix the Cat was strange. I don't know if you've ever seen, and might be mixing it up with.
Auto repair defense. Upgrade
the Cat.
completed.
Which one? What, the cat? Sorry.
Fritz the Cat, which was about a cat, kind of like Top Cat / Felix, but was constantly stoned and drunk. And
That's the one I'm thinking of. That's what I'm thinking of.
That's one. It's a very. I'm surprised you've seen that. That is a very, very,
very
thing to
weird
find.
show.
Yeah, I've got it on laser. Well, Mike's got it on Laserdisc, but only one side of the disc works now. And it's very, very uncommon to come across that. It's very nice, very fun, very crazy. Will offend everyone. It's like Team America.
Oh yeah.
If you're not offended by at least one thing in that film, you need to go see a psychiatrist.
Well, I kind of need to go see a psychiatrist then.
I mean, I was definitely, yeah. I definitely went all on a few bits at the film. I think nowadays, I'd probably do that again a bit more.
Oh, that's the thing that makes vehicles cheaper. But yeah, this whole X-Men '97 thing where he's been fired is like kind of interesting. It's like, oh, he's been fired a week before the show comes out. Why? And it's like, oh, because he's been doing OnlyFans.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, that's the bit that gets me. I just, like I say, I don't know the username he's using, but I won't lie. I'm fascinated enough to put down 20 quid to find out.
I'm gonna have to tell your wife some stuff.
Huh? I'll happily tell her. I'll be like, look, I'm intrigued. Why
Look,
could Disney fire this man?
let's be honest. I have the best. I have
OnlyFans account.
I have the best. I don't know. I have the best. I have the best scouts. Look at them. Fucking hell, that was weird. Look at my scouts, Jax. Look at them. Look at the shark.
I've just realised that they are hammerhead sharks, but for a second I thought it had glitched and you had two sharks facing each other.
No, I just have an army of hammerhead sharks, apparently.
But you know what? I don't remember the French having them in any of their recent conflicts.
Well, they probably didn't have... Well, let's be honest, it's the French. Sharks are the only things that will do any damage for them. What are my soldiers actually called? What the hell are these guys? Oh, a soldier EU. You call a soldier EU. It's not even spelt right, I've just realised. Soldier EU. He's a soldier! Oh no! Jax. I have solidars.
Have you got a dyslexic computer?
No. It's because this mod, I think, is Russian. So I think...
You're brave. Downloading something off a Russian server in the current climate.
It's not off a Russian server, it's off ModDB. But, oh, fucking hell, it's hilarious. So, first time I played this game, right, I was like, I'll do the challenge mode and see how they've, updated it for this mod. Right? Because what they've done is they made it so you can play the challenge mode as each of the factions. Yeah? Right? Yeah. I was like, you know what? I'll try Russia out just because they've got airships and it kind of seems like a funny idea to have an army of airships. You know what I mean? Right? And I could probably start yelling Kirov reporting like in, the old Command & Conquer games. Right? Guess what faction it pitted me against first?
What's that?
Ukraine. And I started laughing.
Ouch.
I was like, great. Even the game is making fucking social commentary on the fact that of the war in Ukraine by pitting me against them as the Russians. It's like, yeah, great. This is going to be fun. This is going to end badly, and it did. I got killed by the Ukrainians. I was like, this is too true to life.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, Jax? Apparently, artillery copter lost. Why is that playing every time I lose a ship? And not just every other ship. Fine. Sea shadows. Shadows of the sea. Don't know what I'm doing with these random defences, because I don't even know what they do. I'm just building random shit and see what the fuck it does. I've not played this faction. I was like, I'll play the EU. Let's play the French, because I've not played the French. I played the Germans. The Germans are quite cool. They've got loads of tanks.
Like, techno music.
Nah, just loads of tanks.
Oh, fair enough.
Let's build a bunch of saboteur choppers.
Guard satellites. Upgrade completed.
Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
Really quiet, but then the minute you research an upgrade, blah, 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 and I apologize. Just screams at you. It's like, okay, I know I did bad. I know I built an upgrade and stuff, but you don't need to yell at me. Also, ion cannon detected. Well, that fired in the air. So, okay.
That's what I say. Out of all these types of games, like that do this sort of mechanic, you control 4 characters. So Dragon Age, Mass Effect, and all the other kinds like that, Ghostbusters. Out of all the characters I've ever done, my favourite is Shell.
Shell is awesome.
I just absolutely love this character.
Can I load these onto this transport? It's time to send a tank army across. I really hate that unit voices in this aren't like in normal games where like every 4th or 5th unit, thingies. Does it? In this mod for some reason every frigging unit is doing the whole Shall we sabotage?
Oh, that was that used to annoy me with. I don't think it was the first Command and Conquer. I think it was Tiberium Sun.
I love Tiberium Sun.
Um, yeah, but every time a unit was produced in that game, it's unit ready, unit ready, unit ready, and I was like, sometimes you had 4 or 5 different builders going, and you were just pumping out an army,
That'd be Tiberium
and just
Wars. Because Tiberium Sun,
and
you can only build units out of one building at a time. It's because it was an old
yeah.
game where, the more barracks you had, the faster it builds units.
Yeah. The I can't. Yeah. So it was the one with the. It was definitely Tiberium Sun because that was the. Yeah. It definitely was Tiberium Sun. Because the first game was the one where you could build basically a force field around all your buildings by using 2 levels of sandbags.
Firestorm. Now, send in the tanks. Even though, because this is generals, my tanks will not destroy buildings unless I manually tell them to shoot the building. My air carriage got blown up. Oh, no wonder it got blown up. It went fucking close to the ground. These tanks are invisible, which is kind of cool. They're also automated tanks. Apparently the Americans really like dozers.
Yeah, they do. I can attest to that.
Especially killdozers.
I mean, I know in popular culture we've seen, but near where I'm planning to move to, I've definitely seen 1 or 2 privately owned dozers, and I'm sure they're just there to drive around the field.
Oh, probably. I'm gonna unlock that. I'm gonna. Oh, cool. Alright. Fuck it. Comanches. Apparently I can build Comanches from that, but I can't summon Comanches. General, you've been promoted. What the hell is what the hell is the Excalibur? That is the question. There we go. I think we've won. I wonder how a Whispercraft is. Okay. What did I just fire? Okay, that's pretty cool. I will admit I kind of prefer the Contra mod over this mod, but I just like the idea of these weird factions. Oh, the AI is killing itself. I win. Because it's an easy AI.
So.
But yeah. Apparently the AI decided, I don't like this, I'm dying. Tactical analysis, there isn't one. Now, I would switch mods and actually do stuff for other things in this game. Now, we're playing Command & Conquer General's random shit because it's funny. To be fair, let's put this on a map where the AI actually is going to put up a fight. If that makes sense. Unfortunately, that map wasn't going to be very good because, unfortunately, the AI is the only way it can attack you is by the water, and it appears that the AI doesn't know how to combat navy. So let's do this. I think where is it? There is a map that I actually adore that I think is. Here we go. Tournament Urban. Classic map.
Ooh.
It's everything. Everything on this map is like equal.
Yeah.
But let's get a little bit of chaos in this map. In this one, shall we? Let's play as these guys because I've not actually tried these guys, the GLA out in this mod. And then everyone else is random. Blue, red, and we'll go with purple for the last one. And people can play if anyone does watch this and complains because all the AI is on easy. It's on easy because I'm being lazy and I can't be bothered dealing with BS this game. But sometimes the AI does. Plus, the AI in this mod is not very improved.
I used to do that, man. Sometimes you want to play a game for a challenge and the puzzle of it and kicking it off, and sometimes you just want to annihilate everything.
Oh yeah.
The amount of times I have played Civilization with as many different rulers as possible, as landmasses as possible, huge thing, all of the AI is set to dumb as a plank.
Oh yeah.
I just want to destroy stuff for a day. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there isn't. Sometimes you want to have fun. Sometimes you just want to sit back, relax, and basically have a power fantasy because you've had a stressful day. And other times it's I need a challenge. Sometimes it's I need something to challenge me today. Nothing has challenged me. Oh yeah. Okay, so this faction builds oil derricks as their money building. I don't know. Okay, so what do I get as infantry? I get rebels, terrorists, RPG troopers, hijackers, capture that, booby traps. Yeah, you will work. I haven't built a radar van yet, which means I don't even have a freaking radar, man.
No, Matt, what you mean? You can't see what's coming? That's not good.
We're building a radar van. We can now see the radar map. Yeah, this map is a tournament map. It's basically the entire map is like even, if that makes sense. There is no difference anywhere on this map, so every player gets access to the same resources. Now, I don't know where half of my turrets are still selling. Alright, I do remember the hotkey for the Stinger Salvo. Sometimes.
I forgot how crazy some of these
What?
spells are.
Oh.
I've just thrown out the Tempest Storm, Lightning Storm, which you get really early on. To be fair, it just goes on forever, destroying everything.
Oh no, there are some of the shit you get in that game is so funny.
Yes.
You can drop a money box for your opponent, and it'll blow up. Like it will just detonate.
Arms dealer upgrade completed.
And then we're about to be yelled at by the game again, by the way.
Well, I know I can hear it yelling.
But yeah.
I was thinking about putting on the third one.
Factory
by the way,
upgrade completed.
Well,
after your recommendation.
For Inquisition, it's really good once you get past that. Once you get past the unfortunate lulled area in Inquisition, it is really good because it's just unfortunately it has that point in the middle, which even I will agree I was getting bored at it, but then I went back and finished it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I say, my main problem ended up being all that management of armies and supplier stuff that they added to it.
I just ignored it for most of the point of the game.
But like a lot of everyone keeps telling me, "Oh, you just ignore it." But like, I thought it was integral to the game, so I was constantly doing it.
No, it's literally just a way. Generally, the army bit is literally just a way of unlocking, like crafting materials and shit to get more. To just get crafting materials or get basically get passive income as you're playing. That's what it's really for. Like a lot of Inquisition stuff is like that. The episode today, where I'm playing Command and Conquer, and mostly we just talk about Dragon Age.
Yeah, I mean, but they are both classic games of the of their genres.
Oh, they are. To be fair, to be absolutely honest, though, right? In terms of games that are amazing, Command and Conquer is one of those series that, in my opinion, is just never the only bad game is the one that I refuse to acknowledge its existence. And anyone who's played Command and Conquer, who's played the franchise, will know which game I'm referencing because it is the only one. It's the one that I just refuse to acknowledge. It's
the mobile one.
No, it's the one that came before the mobile one. It was the hey, let's make a game and we're going to throw out base building, and we're going to make it like a MOBA where there's no base building. You can switch what your role is on the fly. You try to capture points throughout the match. Oh, there's no resources either. It's just time. It's just over time.
Is that generals?
No, this is generals.
Okay.
It was Command and Conquer 4, Tiberium Twilight.
Oh no, I was well out of it by then. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I'll give that one a look because that sounds awful.
It is awful.
That sounds awful.
It is. It's like basically they were chasing the whole StarCraft thing because StarCraft 2 was so popular, but got the wrong end of it.
Huge.
Got the wrong end of what made StarCraft so popular. Basically, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, completely. And you've seen it happen weirdly enough in other games. I mean, look at I love this series, Fable. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
But in sort of chasing a weird gameplay style that other games had got, that second game, you lost so much. Like the amount of spells and stuff you could lock to your character in the first game was crazy, and the combinations was crazy. And then the second game come out and it's like, oh, there's less magic in this universe now, and you're only going to be able to have 5 spells. I think it's like 5 or 6 spells you can have at any one go. I was like, ah.
Yeah, to be fair though, there's less magic because they've gone more of an industrial revolution. They're starting to do an industrial revolution, and it's like, yeah, this is a common trope, and I understand why it's a common trope. The idea that the world was magical until we started inventing technology to solve the problems magic already solved. So magic started dying because of it. But it's like, at the same time, this is kind of this. I would kind of prefer a world which is high magic, but also highly technical, like going through its industrial revolution at the same time. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. I mean, there was ways of limiting. I mean, I think if they'd made the spells less powerful, I mean, all the magic is still a maybe take out some of the really hardcore spells from that first game. You limit what damage they do. You cut off some of the, like say, the higher end ones, and go, right, that's the limitation, and we want you to use more swords and guns in this one. And the magic is more of a bolster than your main. But yeah, they kind of went weirdly in the opposite direction of that, and they imposed it. It's really weird.
Yeah.
I still love them. I even loved the Connect game that they had.
I actually liked the idea of that game. Which one was it? The one that we were going to make that was basically here's Fable, but like 4 versus 1. That looked genuinely fun. Look at all the missiles, we're going to burn them down. Apparently the AI for the GLA doesn't work.
Oh.
So, fuck the GLA, they die first.
They go first. They die.
They get poisoned. Get poisoned by all the poison. You can see my troops just standing outside of the poison area. Like, we ain't getting poisoned, boy. Our courage will be seen by all.
I'm meant to get in there.
I forgot to build a black market.
That's not good.
I know, I wasn't generating free resources from it.
This is a really simple maze puzzle, and I am getting confused. What is going on? I mean, this is like the basic of maze puzzles, and I was like, I'm lost. And I was like looking at the map now, I don't understand why I'm lost. But I'm lost.
Oh, I can appreciate why you lost. Let's see. I know this is not going to automatically scan for what I'm doing. It might. You on the street, Jax can see everything. On the stream, I apologise. You're going to right now see nothing for a few seconds. You just hear our wonderful voices. What I will also talk about is that we are in the process of possibly, I believe, maybe resurrecting the channel a little bit more and doing like recording some videos of other games.
Yeah,
Possibly.
we've got a nice selection of different classic and modern games, and hopefully try and get it so where we can be together on some of them.
Yeah. This is just a...
Here's the all the listeners.
The listeners.
I'm on PC. Sorry, I'm not on PC. You're on PC. I am on the Xbox. I'm a console player nowadays.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm a...
Those dirty PC players.
I'm trying to see if I can capture the output in a minute. At the minute, we're trying... Well, this is the issue with this. Trying to get it to stream... Aha, got it. Trying to get this... The issue with old games like this is, unfortunately, trying to get them to stream. Now, trying to record this game would be even more hell. Luckily, I have programs to record that work on games like this. But, like, if we were to record stuff like some videos, I was thinking stuff along the lines of, like as Jack says, some classic games, some modern games, but also like recording stuff that genuinely is like just a bit of fun, and having like not so much focused on the game itself, I think. Well, focused on the game, but more focused on I think it was more focused on, what was it, Jax? We said like on how like both of our impressions on like sort of the game itself and mechanics and stuff like that. And also
so gameplay and influences and stuff like just a bit of an all round.
Yeah.
All flab about gaming.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's also, let's be honest, we've got to have a bit of fun. You've got to have a bit of fun, and you've got to have. The reality is yeah, as much as a let's play of like a game series is good, I'm very much into playing a lot of classical games, a lot of older games. I will admit that. Like, a lot of the games I play are most of the time quite old, but like running through the story of, say, for example, Dawn of War, for example, if we did that would be, and we're now playing the Contra mod for Generals too, because Contra is amazing. But
It is.
oh yeah, Contra is an amazing game, but this mod is amazing because it's more about. It's a mod that adds makes all the faction, like sub-factions for each of the factions, unique, and is a lot of fun. If that makes sense.
Which is always a bonus in a mod. I mean, the last thing you want is it to make the game worse.
Yeah. Oh, I played a couple. I've tried like almost every Generals mod over the last 2 days. Some of them are terrible. Some of them are just straight up. I will fully go, this mod is terrible. And I'm sorry for the mod makers for making it, but your mod is shit. That's my opinion. Contra, the guys who made Contra and made Rise of the Reds, I really like your mods, because even though Rise of the Reds removes the whole sub-faction thing that you pick at the start of the game, at the minute, if they eventually ever do a 2.0 version, apparently they're adding sub-factions to every faction in. So every faction will have like 3 sub-factions that instead of picking at the start of the game, you'll... Yeah. It would be a bit more... As you can appreciate, will be a little bit. Will be like you'll be able to pick your sub-faction in game apparently, which is going to be quite a neat thing that a lot of mods seem to be doing. Also, my basic infantry is a flamethrower. This instantly makes this the best general. I think anyone who knows me knows I have an ungodly obsession with fire.
Yes.
I mean, I
think most of us do, though, really.
Probably.
Upgrade complete.
This general can build a fuel tank that spills fuel to then ignite it and burn the ground. Okay, he has a flamethrower. Why is he carrying a rocket launcher?
The shits and giggles.
Or is it a flamethrower, if you get what I mean? As in, it doesn't fire... it's not a flamethrower as in you're like, oh, I've got a flamethrower burn. It's a flamethrower as in, hey, guess what? What? Fire grenade.
Oh. That'll do.
That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
That'll do, donkey.
Also, to quote my builder, China must grow larger. Nice location. You know, the funny thing is, the irony is that this game got banned. I think this game got banned in China.
Well, yeah, there's probably a couple of good reasons why. Weird enough, sorry, this is a bit of something that kind of affects both of us, I believe, because we both have history with this company. Rooster Teeth is shutting down.
I know that. I can't believe that Rooster Teeth is shutting down, but at the same time, they've not been as good as they were in the Red versus Blue days or in the early thingy days, in my opinion.
I was an avid watcher of the podcast and a lot of their stuff. I've only ever watched in and out for Ruby, and I watched the film. Is it Laser? What's it called? Laser Tag? Laser something.
Yeah, Laser Tag. I completely didn't realise it was them until I noticed some of the actors in it. I was like, oh dear God,
yeah.
that's Rooster Teeth. They were also responsible for. I will admit, I do like them for being responsible for my favourite Transformers series out of the new modernist Transformers stuff, because it was them that made the Cybertron Saga one.
Mm-hmm.
And I will fully give them the whole.
Rooster Teeth animation, very good. They've, like I said, I've been a big fan since the early days, like you. And I've up until about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
A dong thing.
I think I would say that I was a big watcher, still watching their podcast. I will say though, when they started to lose their old school guys, they all started to leave. I mean, I think now it is only, like I say, not been a big follower for a while. I think Gus. I know Bernie Burns has gone. He's moved to Scotland. I think Gus Sorolla left.
I think Gus is I swear it's Gus that's the DM of that D&D podcast that the Stinky Dragon or something.
Probably, but it's only I can never remember his last name. Lee.
Griffin.
Yeah, Lee Griffin. I think he's the only last of the original guys there now. But they were hit with so many scandals and so much problems. I mean, Mika Burton, if you're a geek, she is of a celebrity royal family, really. She's the daughter of LeVar Burton, and she worked for them, and they treated her like crap.
Yeah, I thought, as much as I love Red vs Blue, I know from some of the stuff that I've heard of the way that they treated a lot of staff is that, unfortunately, they wouldn't. Even when Bernie was in charge, they weren't apparently sometimes the best to run work for.
And it seems to have been a certain group of people they didn't like. But one thing I had noticed over the years, and it used to be a bit of a joke, but now in sort of modern climate and looking back, all of Rooster Teeth kind of started to be a dating service, because they all the dudes ended up dating the young women that they brought into the co-stars, and then even married them, or they left in spurious ways.
I still find it hilarious that the whole joke of in the old Red vs Blue, from I think it was when Griff and the one that played Tex were actually married. If you know what I mean, years ago. The whole joke, the joke of in one of the Red vs Blue of why Tex continuously beats Griff in the balls is because of the kid. It's just like this. Yeah. We need to put this joke in just because. Yeah, you got. What is your problem with my balls? And it's like, I love it because it's just hilarious. It's like, I can now see. So we are fighting China. We're fighting the tank general. That's great. Oh, we're fighting the nuke general. Oh, and then we're fighting the GLA. I love it. China's having a civil war apparently. Oh, great. Fire, nukes, and sorry, the nuke general has one of my favourite fucking super weapons in the game that they added in this mod. Takes 12 minutes to charge, right? Takes 12 minutes to charge. But it is so good. It fires like 12 nukes at a single target, at like a big area, and blankets it in nukes. And it's just like, okay, I'm going to wipe out your whole base in one shot. You've got 12 minutes to kill me, or you die. And I love it because it's just such an apocalyptic weapon it's like the Command and Conquer equivalent of, this is the apocalypse weapon, screw you. Yeah. Apparently, we will live in prosperity. I'm building loads of hackers, so get money, because that's how Chinwa acquires infinite money, is by hacking. So, remember how I was questioning why are these guys called flamethrowers? They are literally, they have a cannon that fires like fire grenades basically at people.
Yeah. More like fire bombers then.
Yeah. But I get why it's called a thrower, because it's basically throwing the firebomb. Yeah. Kind of sad, but it's because we don't get pyro infantry as this faction, and I'm like, you're a fire dude. Why do I not have flame units with an actual literal flamethrower? Because honestly, that would be fucking awesome. And laptop in hand. The funny thing is, this game got banned in China because of the way it depicts. I think it was because of the way it depicted China. But the irony is, China's the good guy in this game. Like, they're literally the ones who save the day. That's the funny part.
I'm sure there's probably other reasons as well.
It's also probably because of the way it depicts the GLA as probably as completely terrorism. Full-on terrorists. The shit they do in this game is insane. But they do kick the Americans out of it. I'm surprised they didn't get banned in America, because they kick the Americans out of their country.
That happens in a lot of games. It's also easier to do.
I have a problem.
Generally in terms like, you're not going to get a major backlash from Americans. They'll just be like, yeah, we got guns. Nah, that's not happening.
Oh yeah, I love the American denial of, we all have guns. No one would ever be able to invade us. Half of you wouldn't know what to do with your guns. Well, I didn't say it. I said what I said.
I mean, I don't know. I to some extent.
No, they know what to do with the guns. The problem is that they don't realise that you're fighting an organised army. What are you going to do with you and your four friends?
You've hit my point right on the head there with a sledgehammer. Right, so here's the thing that gets me. There's is this weird dichotomy. The people with the most guns are usually the most patriotic in the sense of they believe their army is the most powerful army in the world, and they can take everyone out. Like, you come at us, we come at you, like God's wrath. At the same time, these people also believe that their one military rifle and a few others in their cupboard downstairs is going to be enough to stop one of the world's greatest military forces from doing anything. If their National Guard or their army does come in, there is not a militia around, no matter what you've got, that's going to stop the modern armed force getting in nowadays.
No, because unfortunately, they're trained to fight in these situations. You're not.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and I know the great argument is that they use is, well, you know, look how long it takes them to take out such and such a country and such a country.
That's because they're fighting another
You're
army.
on home soil. Your own, yeah, and also you're on home soil, on both ends. You, as much as any soldier trains in the areas that they're expected to fight in, 99% of their time they're in the country that they're from training. They're used to the climate. They're used to the people talking. They have the same language. And the best part is all the skills you're learning are from ex-military officers that have been trained the same thing, only 10 years previous. It's like a photocopy of a photocopy. It's never going to be as good as the original.
No. It just makes me laugh when people try and say that, oh, we got gun, we can fight off the military, and like, no. They're organised. They have tanks. What's your rifle going to do to the tank that's about to blow your house up?
A great example of just how much a bit of terrain and a bit of culture proves with an army. Just look how difficult it was for the British Army to do anything, pretty much anything, to the IRA.
Yep. Fucking IRA.
You know, and that was literally just a country with a slightly different culture across the pond. Right? People could swim it. And you know,
I activated the GLA AI by attacking them. One thing I will say about this mod that I like is if that gets destroyed, after about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, it respawns as under no one's control. So you can't just like destroy all the oil derricks to prevent anyone from capturing them. They will just respawn after 2 minutes.
yeah.
Which is a nice mechanic because it stops the whole someone being a dick and just destroying everything, destroying all of them on the map so no one can get them. Oh no, the Americans are coming again. Sorry, the fake Chinese are coming again. Because clearly I am the real Chinese army. I mean, I do like that this mod also. See why I cannot build this because I'm not the highest rank yet. You have to level up.
Yeah.
You have to rank up, which is why combat is a lot more important. It's also why the AI in this mod is actually more aggressive than normal AI. Though right now I think it's busy fighting each other, not fighting me, which is kind of hilarious. I'm building this. This is my This is my super tank. I like it. Have you seen what it is armed with?
I do like the designs of those tanks, though.
Oh yeah.
They seriously did tanks well.
Oh yeah. Well, it's just an Overlord tank basically crossed with some else, and it's like in game terms, that's what it is. Like model wise, it's an Overlord tank. Oh my god, I can have MiGs that have incendiary weapons. Get that. Have you noticed how also in this upgrade complete isn't fucking loud as hell? Jax.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Command & Conquer is one of those games that I enjoy playing a lot because it's a classic game you can kind of go back to and just play, because In all honesty, it's the grandfather of art. It is the father of RTS in all essence. Yeah, you see how I said they're arguing themselves? They're fighting over that oil derrick. Red's destroyed that in the middle temporarily. I've got what's called magma cannons. I've never seen this before. This is a new weapon specific to this thing. Effective against all ground targets. So if I build a propaganda tower on that, because it's a propaganda, you know, when a British person has a proper look.
Yeah. Propaganda.
Oh, they've got Jarman Kell. I know that because he's killed the pilot of one of my dozers. Unfortunately for him, I have a tank that detects stealth.
Nice. That will do some damage.
And I have a bunch of magma cannons. Come here, Jarman. It's time for your medicine. That medicine is fire, by the way. Hello, Jarman Cow. Burn! I like fire a lot in these sort of games. Oh, the GLA got. Oh God, have you seen what they've just done? There's a fucking. They just summoned an army out of the turrets. It's like ah. Unfortunately for them, the army is coming out of their tunnel. That is actually kind of cool. Unfortunately for them, my tanks are strong enough to kill their vehicles and shit, but I think they're not very good against. I think they're better against infantry, those tanks, unfortunately. Am I a 5-star general yet? No, I'm a 4-star general. But let's get that and get that. Because this will be funny. Hey guys, we're going to spill the fuel.
Spill it?
Basically, if I spill fuel there, I can then send a MiG in and it'll just set everything there on fire. I don't know. And then if I do this, watch. Mix, you've got incendiary bombs, drop them.
Drop them.
Because that's all like going to set on fire immediately afterwards. Hi there. Fire! That was fucking. That was perfect. That was so fucking perfect. When you get to it, Jax, you'll see why I was laughing. That was funny.
Watching a stream now, but I'd say I'm also playing my game and I was being attacked.
Oh, you're being attacked.
I was. They were so mean to me.
So what I did, Jax, was, you know that oil spill that I put on their base. Yeah. I sent
ignited it.
I ignited it and it burned it burned all their buildings down.
That'll do. That'll do.
I want to launch 10 missiles. Oh no, they're bringing a tank to get me. How will I ever defeat it?
With luck.
Oh no, I'm screwed. I'm gonna die. It's a tank. Bye.
Stroud has no skills at all available. That's weird.
Oh, on console, do you get the tactics commands?
Yes. Although I haven't used them. You use the D-pad. Control it.
Yeah, so, no, I mean, like, do you get the ability to set, like, this much health, use a healing potion, this much, do this?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I love how, I love that feature, and, like, I'm so glad Dragon Age 3 brought that back for PC. Because Dragon Age 2 on PC doesn't have that. It's the same as the console version. It is my actual biggest...
Really?
Yeah. As far as I remember...
I'm going to have to double check that, because I am sure you can get tactics on that, because... I think because you start healing me at 30%, and I'm sure they do that to Hawk. Well, when I get round to it, I'll find out. I could be wrong. I could be having a Mandela
Oh no, it's not
effect, or I
tactics
could
thing. It's the you don't have it, but I do. It's the ability to zoom out and like all the way, and control characters using the like the mouse rather than WASD.
Oh, I see what you mean. So no, I can jump into any character and then have them direct to do certain things,
Yeah.
or I can take over them completely and play them.
Yeah. Whereas
But
I
also
can
we do have
do the tactic stuff you can do, but I can also then play it like a party-based RPG.
Yeah.
Oh, they shot down my general. Oh, it's the toxin general that I'm fighting. Great. I forgot I had 2 airfields. And forgot to build a MiGs for my second airfield.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh no. Fake China's going to attack me. Send in the MLRSs.
Send in the clowns. Send in the clowns.
Oh no, we killed all the clowns. A very good plan, General. Remember that. It's a very good plan. I really need
Oh,
to...
noodle. I've just realised I have missed an entire puzzle in the first level.
Why? What did you miss?
It's a whole mission. The summoning. You've got to do the summoning in the right order, and then can't remember what it gives you, but it gives you something really good.
You know what I am, Jax?
No.
Disappointed. Because this isn't my world. Disappointed!
Disappointed.
You know that meme.
Yeah.
Anyone who doesn't know that meme, that is from the show Hercules. That is very, very old. From when both me and Jax were a lot younger. Sorry.
It was back in the day when
Kevin Silver wasn't crazy.
Wasn't crazy. And just so you know, I believe I've told you. I believe I've shown you some of these. But me and my good friend Eddie, before it was sort of publicly acknowledged that he was going nuts, in the way that he has, we were joking about doing these memes of Kevin Sorbo saying these weird things, and then he started saying these weird things, and it's like, wow, he's literally just undercut our idea. So we ended up having to create a character called K-Sorb that did less crazy things than him, but they were still crazy.
Less crazy, but still crazy.
Oh yeah, you can, if you Google, if you search for K-Sorb on TikTok, you'll find a couple of lovely little memes on there. Mostly about day drinking and having menstrual cramps.
Kevin Sorbo went mad, and I don't know how and what happened to poor Kevin Sorbo. It was just like...
I'm so glad Lucy Lawless stayed sane.
Lucy Lawless is awesome.
She is, absolutely.
She is just... I'm not blowing these up so the AI has to recapture them later. Look, the enemies of China must be destroyed. Building my new Chinese empire. I mean...
It's just for any government officials listening to this, that we're talking about a video game, and no one is supporting anyone of any countries, armies, or ideals, especially me, who is currently applying for a green card.
Hey. There's nothing wrong with playing Command and Conquer and blowing everyone up for the Chinese army. Look, real China. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I can't support them or denounce them either way. That's just China. It's just a country. It exists. I don't have an opinion either way of them. But China in this video game are hilarious. Because, General, you have been promoted. Like, did they have to choose the most racist voice for some of these characters?
Yes. Yes, they did. I mean, you should listen to some of the voices my DM comes out with. Jiminy Crickets. I'm surprised.
You listen here, you little shit. I come up with those voices for your entertainment.
They are very much. They do entertain me. I've said this to my wife. I would quite love to listen to the two of you do different accents in conversation, because I don't think anyone would be able to guess what dialect was coming out of anyone at that point.
Hey, you don't mock my voices. You don't mock my accents. Look, it takes a lot of fucking work to do this. You know.
You've got to stop doing Jamaican accents, seriously.
That's not fucking Jamaican. You're on about.
I know it's not, but it seems to be some sort of copy of one, and I don't know why.
It's not. There's nothing to fucking do in Jamaica, you fucking wee lad.
It's just so wrong.
I burned down most of the fake Chinese base. I mean, the traitors.
My wife does love. We've been watching for the British audience. You'll know this. For the rest of the world, you should look it up. It's weird. For you guys, I've been showing her Only Fools and Horses.
Ah.
And
now that's a classic piece of fucking British history.
It really, really is. And one thing I'm surprised about, I've actually been surprised about, because over the years, the BBC has edited their versions of the show when they show it, and I believe they are edited on the BBC. I don't know, I haven't looked recently. But some of the older language that is now no longer acceptable has been removed and dubbed and changed, whereas it can be.
I prefer them to do what Disney does with it. Of the depictions of some depictions in here are a bit outdated.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is here's the problem. I mean, some of the things that they actually do say were kind of known to not be the right thing to say then as well. You know?
Yeah, and if you know, you know.
You know. So, yeah, no, it was a bit. So it was interesting to watch. I was watching it on BritBox, and they have done no edits whatsoever. It is the straight original broadcast, from what I can tell and remember. And there was more than one time I was like, what did you just say? I forgot that. Yeah.
It's like my massive fuck off artillery.
They have arrived.
I brought massive fuck off artillery to the game. Apparently there's a tactical fighter reporting.
But yeah, no, unfortunately, no, Disney, as much as they get a lot of praise for putting that little disclaimer there and saying, no, at least for historical accuracy, we're going to show it anyway. My favourite episode of The Muppets is not available on Disney Plus. They personally removed it, even though you can get it on the DVD. And it is the episode in which Spike Milligan appears on The Muppets. And they removed it. They've removed the entire episode.
They put Spike Milligan on The Muppets.
Spike Milligan. So yeah, you've got to remember. Quite a lot of, not quite a lot, a number of the writers from on these American shows were from the UK, and they knew Spike. And Spike was a prolific writer of stuff as well as a stand-up comedian and actor. Um,
Yeah.
and he was part of that early wave of British comedians being quite liked over there, because you had Monty Python, you had Benny Hill, and in particular, people came over to do stuff with our comedians. There is, in fact, and it's very hard to find. I had it on VHS many years ago, and I have tried to find it since, and it is very difficult to find. When Vincent Price appears in a sketch with Tommy Cooper, and Tommy Cooper is, I believe, dating his granddaughter in the sketch. And it is surreal. Absolutely surreal. He didn't know who Tommy Cooper was, by the way. He just was told, would you like to be on a comedian show who's popular in the UK? And he said yes. Vincent Price.
Vincent Price was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know what? It will look real nice when it's done.
One of my favourite lines from him was in... Oh, man, I can't remember the name of the film now. It wasn't... but it's... his character had damage to his ears. And the line is... Your screams are such exquisite agony to me. As he's torturing the young woman, it was just a great dark line, and the way he says it, it was almost as if he was the master from Doctor Who. It was really, really creepy.
Burning down. Let's try these odds for you. But yeah, I get what you mean. Vincent Price was fucking brutal in most things he was in. He was one of those people that was what was it? So many horror films.
Oh yes, he was. Yeah, I mean he's there up there. I mean, Christopher Lee is kind of the one people really remember now, in a weird way, because of who Christopher Lee is now.
Yep. In
many ways. He was Count Dooku, and then all of a sudden everyone seemed to remember he was Dracula.
And Saruman.
Once again, that came later. That's where his popularity, people, modern era of people knew he was Saruman the same as they knew him as Count Dooku. But all of a sudden people were like, wait a minute, he was Dracula, he was the Witchfinder, he was this.
Mm-hmm.
And then almost like his acting chops, his horror history became new again. And he did seem to override some of the older ones from the past. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but it's like Christopher Lee is one of those people that's like was an amazing actor.
Mm-hmm.
There was Vincent Price. There was John Hurt.
Yeah.
There was.
He did come a little bit later on than those guys.
Oh yeah, but there's Peter Cushing.
Yes.
Man, the myth, the legend. He even played the Doctor at one point. Sorry, he played Doctor Who.
He was in the films.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Yeah, he did play a character called Doctor Who, yeah. A very interesting take. I enjoy both those films.
I did. They were quite interesting. It's also the first time we ever saw Bernard. It was one of the first times we saw Bernard Cribbins in the show, because he played Ian in one of the films.
Yes. Yeah. You're right.
May
yeah.
Mr. Bernard Cribbins rest in peace, because he was amazing. I will admit, I almost cried at that scene when the little scene in the last episode of the 3 specials last year, when we got to see him. I was like, oh, "Come on, why'd you do this to me?" He's so...
he was meant to be in more.
No.
Yeah.
Detonate the reality bomb. Sorry, I have Davros' line stuck in my head. See, Davros is fun. Davros is a villain that I'm not. I think a lot of the context around this, whole this thing that's been happened with the whole Davros controversy stuff, where apparently this is the new appearance for Davros in that, from that Children Need sketch. That's what he's going to be. I feel people were taking Russell's comments out of context, and he was meaning that specific, instance, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, no.
But we'll see when
Okay.
we see him again. If we see him again, it's just kind of like I feel like you can't really you can't change something about like that. Like I think I read an article that was like when people were going about why are they gender swapping like characters in comic books or thinking certain things and someone was pointing out that the Battlestar Galactica remake, the reboot that was basically like a remake of the original. The fact that they
all very well.
They gender swapped so many characters that people didn't realise they had. Because as long as you don't change the defining trait of the character, like the stuff that makes the character who they are, it doesn't matter who plays them, as long as the person playing them, as long as you don't change the defining part of the character. Like for example, if you gender swapped, say, Katara in Avatar: The Last Airbender, one of her defining traits is overcoming the fact that she, is overcoming some of her, her own, stuff about herself. And it's like if you did it to soccer, it's like you can't do it because like one of his defining traits in the animated series is, unfortunately, is his misogyny at the start of the show that he slowly overcomes as the show goes on.
Weirdly enough, though, Aang, you could change.
You could. Aang, you could change because as long as you keep Aang's personality, it'll work.
So I am actually a big Battlestar Galactica fan. I have a couple of the models from the original run where you had to make them yourself. I actually have a smashed up Galactica and I have a smashed up Cylon Raider.
I have a built Cylon Raider behind me, the original one.
Yeah. So all mine are the originals as well, from the Aurora sets. I believe they were Auroras.
But mine's an actual. It's one of the collector's ones, not the actual ones you build yourself. The ones that was in the collector's boxes. If you know what I mean. That you could buy.
Oh no, yes, see, mine were So the ones I have were build yourself ones.
Yeah.
I managed to get proper originals. I also have the comic books floating around, and the mini book that came out. So I am a bit of a fan. So I don't know how much of old school Galactica you watch, and what period in time, because there's actually two forms of old school Galactica. There's Battlestar Galactica, and then there is Battlestar Galactica 1980. Very much two different shows, in what they were doing. And to say that weirdly enough, so there was a lot of backlash in the early days of that, because the idea was between Starbuck and Apollo, these two were soldiers in arms. These were wingmen. This was Goose and Maverick.
Oh yeah.
It's O'Neill and Jackson. These two had become friends through their own adversity. I'll get my words out. And instead of having that, and the other part of it was Apollo's son. He was a young father. He was a young single father, looking after a child that had just lost his mother in the first wave of attacks.
Oh yeah.
And Starbuck becomes the guy who is the uncle, the helper, the one that tells you, he's the guy he has a beer with at the end of the day. That's like, no, you're doing right. You're doing good. Look how good your kid is, man. Don't stress it. Just keep doing it. In the new series, all of that was gone, and the reason I think I didn't care too much about that was because so much of the story was different. It was almost like a different reality more than a remake. I didn't, because if I thought of it like a remake in a way, I really kind of would have been annoyed by the.
But it wasn't really a remake; it was a reboot, because it was essentially the original story happened. They won the war. This is essentially the continuation where we changed, the names to call signs, for the characters, rather than that being their name, it was their call sign, in the thingy. But like the fact that
Well, I mean, that was the. I mean, that was the
Starbuck
same
was,
in. I mean, yeah, but that was the same in the original series. I mean, they were call signs. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. But I think in my head, like, it had to be a different reality because, like, it was. I didn't like the relationship between Starbuck and Apollo. I liked it when they broke up, and there was almost a dislike between the two. Because it almost felt like they had now a friendship again instead of this weird illicit love affair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no.
I do need to sit and watch that show. Watch through the whole Battlestar Galactica remake again, though.
The thing is, if they didn't change it, if they didn't change it the way they did, you wouldn't have had characters like Boomer being so good in new series.
No.
Another great character that came out of it. It's the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Bolter in the original is just basically a snide little git that stands next to a computer that talks to him and tells him off for being so stupid, and he just snidely talks about the computer behind his back. In this, it was so much more different. You saw how cowardly he was amongst his own things, and I loved it. And yeah, no, I did like the remakes.
Oh yeah, they're brilliant. But the thing a lot of people that the articles put out about Starbuck is the whole changing Starbuck to I can't remember if it's Starbuck is the one that changed. It was played by Katie Sackhoff.
Yes, Starbuck is the one that changes.
Yeah, is that they didn't change what makes Starbuck Starbuck. That they're an ace pilot. That they friends with that like generally they start there friends with Apollo and everything, and you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. They didn't change the defining traits that make the character Starbuck. They just changed the gender, and rather than go, oh yeah, she's an ace pilot because all the other pilots are shit, it was, no, she's an ace pilot, but all the pilots are good. It's just Starbuck is reckless, which is what Starbuck's flaw was. And it was the fact they didn't fundamentally change the character, where that is the issue with some gender swaps. Like, if you gender swap a character, it doesn't matter as long as you keep the defining traits correct, the same. Mm-hmm. The thing that makes them who they are. Or if you gender, race, or anything, swap a character. Like, a lot of people are complaining because I think it's Giancarlo Rio I can't say his name, Espirito, wants to play Professor X opposite Denzel Washington as Magneto.
I don't like that so much, right? I think there's many other actors that can play Magneto.
I think the reason a lot of people go, but he's Jewish, and I'm sat there going, but a black person can be Jewish because Judaism is a religion as well as technically a people. That's the thing that if they try and use that excuse doesn't work. To me, it's unfortunately Magneto's. One of Magneto's defining traits is kind of who he is kind of slightly defined by how Magneto looks as well. The fact that he is just like this normal presenting person that is drawn to the extreme because of his because of mutant, and humans hate mutants.
So weirdly enough, we're gonna do this really crazy circle here, and I am not going to actually walk people through this because you can actually do some looking yourselves. How weird the whole thing there is about someone saying he's black and Jewish. So there is a great story in amongst story history, depending on how you look at this, in terms of theology, is that there was. Tell me if you know this story, by the way, my friend here.
I'm just a little bit trying not to die.
There was once 13 tribes, and before a disaster, the 13th tribe disappeared, went on its own way. And a disaster happened, and the remaining 12 tribes had to leave on a journey to find a new homeland, whilst many of them started to disappear and dissipate amongst the lands around them. The others managed to find their goal eventually, after much sacrifice and many attacks from outside enemies. What show does that sound like to you?
That sounds like 13 colonies. Well, 12.
Does it sound a lot like Battlestar Galactica?
Yeah.
12 colonies trying to find a 13th. Well, actually, that is because it is that story. It is also the story of Judaism and how the 13 tribes went out, and one of which is believed to be. The computer's just gone off. That's not good.
Oh no, you're still here.
Did go off to. It's believed to be go off to Africa, and that is why there is actually, if you look, people want to say that it's weird, a very large contingent of people of colour that are Jewish for many generations.
Yeah. It's the one thing that it's the only thing about that. I was going to say something about the whole. Oh, why would we cast it? Why would we cast Denzel Washington as Magneto? He has to be Jewish. And I'm like, yeah, but as you've just pointed out, there's like in the 13 tribe story, there is very much quite a large population that are Jewish and black. It's race.
And also, the actual only way to actually be Jewish is for your mother to be Jewish. So it really doesn't matter what colour you are, as long as your mother is Jewish.
And it's just in those things like, yeah, I get people getting annoyed with like, oh, why are we racial characters? Because we've got the perfect actors in Fassbender and like Ian McKellen and
Yeah, but they're gone. They're not going to do another 20 years. They're not going to do another 10 years.
No, that's the point. We
Fassbender's
need
got other
actors
stuff
that
to
we can keep around for 10 years.
Now, granted, these two actors are a little bit older. I think Marvel would prefer to go younger for the mainstays.
I would probably agree, but I have a feeling Marvel would probably want to start, if they're going to start with their guys, their unit, their people, with their new cast. I think that they will start with like with a younger cast. To be honest,
But hear me out here, because DC has started to do this. I'm sure there was one of these side stories, like one of the What If ones, and it weren't even a What If. I think it was just a side story, so it could be used as a What If, where there was a universe. I could be wrong here. I could easily be wrong here, and just imagining this, but I'm sure I'm not. Where they went to a place where the heroes were. I think they were race and gender swapped, but it could just be race swapped. Now, this out as either one of the special spotlights or What If.
yeah,
They fucking did it. A universe where a bunch of villains and a bunch of heroes are getting together like an apocalyptic battle world. But it's a race swap one. And that's when you can have Magneto and Professor X icing it down. But then you can bring in some of the greater characters. You can bring in Miles... Well, shit, no, they can't bring in Miles Morales, can they? Fuck, actually, it's a bad idea.
he's already in the MCU
I was thinking
technically.
it's a great idea to bring him.
We've met his.
Yeah, he is, but I want him to see... Jimmy, I really want to see the kid from Stranger Things... I can't remember his name, in that Miles Morales costume. He is the live action.
That's an
Miles
oddly
Morales.
weird fetish, Jax.
That is. I think he is the Miles Morales for me. I think he looks great in the stuff that the AI stuff that's been brought out. I think he looks great. I think he could do it.
Well, maybe he could, but the thing about it is,
Like people asking for Danny Glover to do it. Donald Glover to do it. He's too old to play Miles Morales. Yes, he would be perfect, but he needs to be. He's the voice. He's the voice and he's the prowler. He does not need to be. And he's the inspiration, but he does not need to be playing that character unless they do an older version of that character in live action.
yeah, I don't think we'll get that. We basically, if you pay attention to, like, example, the current 3 Spider-Man films we have, we have with Tom Holland in, they are essentially the origin story of Spider-Man. That's what they are. They're essentially Peter's his origin of becoming the Spider-Man from the comics, essentially by the end of it. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, he's the MCU's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's the thing that they've definitely nailed down.
I've just realised something I do want to discuss with you a minute when you finish. when you're with the MCU Spider-Man thing. That's something I do want to discuss here. Madam Web. Have you heard the latest thing happening with it?
Please tell me.
Apparently Dakota Johnson, the main star, is getting in a lot of trouble.
Okay.
Because she basically is calling it a shit film.
What?
Even she's saying
More actors need...
Because basically Sony's getting mad at her because she's voicing what she thinks of the film. And they're upset because she's not supporting them.
If rumours are true, they're going to be upset for a number of reasons that an actor is speaking out. And there might be a reason. So I'm now in speculation mode. I am not saying these things as fact. I've heard some things, and this would actually make some weird sense. So in speculation land, completely speculation land. So with a major problem at the moment between Disney and Sony is not Spider-Man anymore, the actual character itself.
Nope.
The problem is something that they managed to sort out with Universal by buying Universal and Fox was the logo that you put up in front of all these movies when they come out and bomb is Marvel Studios.
Yep.
Because it's a 10-year-old logo back in the day when all these things were encompassed in a weird, very loose, very weird way. Now, average Joes that go and see a film,
they assume it's the
when
MCU.
they see that, they see MCU. When these films have come out, so when Morbius bombed, when Venom didn't do too well.
No, it did. As much as I love both Venom films, I love them both.
I liked it.
They unfortunately they didn't do well, and I know they didn't do well, and it's unfortunately
the first one did do quite well. The second one didn't. The second one didn't because and this was because of speculation. There is actually a good reason for this. They actually speculated on the amount of money and tickets they were going to get in people coming back and people that hadn't come to the first one because of one main reason. You had Cletus Cassidy being played by Woody Harrelson, and Cletus Cassidy is basically Woody Harrelson's character from Natural Born Killers. That's who he was based on. So fans came out the freaking woodwork. Comic book fans that had never seen a comic book movie out of complete hatred of it came to see this.
I will say this, by the way, the one main disappointing thing was with the whole we've done Carnage was sorry, but the fact that Deadpool did an R rating and it worked and it was really good. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Seriously, they should have done that as an R-rated film, and I'm sorry, but it deserved it. It was one of those films that honestly should have been an R-rated film.
Yeah, and that whole love sequence stuff, none of that should have been in there because that's not. If you actually read the comic book that love interaction comes from, he doesn't like. She's infatuated with him. Neither Cletus or Carnage care. They're useful as a killer. And when they start getting unuseful because their screams keep getting in the way, they get sent off.
Except in the Deadpool comic where Deadpool kills her and then Carnage goes on a rampage to kill Deadpool.
Yeah, I mean, but in the mainline Maximum Carnage story,
that is the mainline.
Venom versus Carnage story.
That is Maximum Carnage. It's like the ending of it where Deadpool gets an after.
This is Venom versus Carnage is the one I'm thinking of when they first get Scream out of the prison because it is just after the Clone Wars saga, I believe it is.
The Clone Saga.
They have all these weird, Clone Saga, where they have all these weird versions of Spider-Man still running around, and there's one called Doppelganger. If you remember that one, it's the one with the mutant spider face and the multiple arms. That fires out razor webbing. He's still around. He's actually in that comic book as well because he falls in love with Scream himself. It's weird. Anyway, I'll get back to my point because we jumped one line. So the reason these films bomb, and it actually ends up hurting Disney's stock share because it's another bomb for Marvel, so it's obviously a bomb for Disney. And when you actually look at what a lot of people have complained about, even a lot of big YouTubers that should know differently, when they're talking about Marvel fatigue and comic book fatigue and hero fatigue and all these sort of things, the films that they base these fatigues on for the MCU, it had the Sony films.
Yeah. And
it has nothing to do with them.
What I will say this is something that does generally annoy me. Okay, I know we live in a society where hunting is, bad, it's terrible, and I agree fully. We should not be hunting animals and shit. You know what I mean, right? But for the love of God, why have they changed Craven to a wildlife conservationist over being Craven the Hunter?
Once again, this is another film that's comes out. So my point, I'm getting back to. Finally get back to the point. So the rumor and speculation I have heard is that Disney are looking towards a legal response to what they are considering another company now tarnishing their name and license with inferior product. Because there is no way on earth that films like Morbius or Madam Web should ever have been released.
No.
Madam Web. I paid money to see it. I wanted to see it. I wanted to see that film. I thought it was going to be good. I wanted to see how that was going to... Because I actually thought these things were going to... I thought Sonyverse was going to be this thing where it's going to start interconnecting with this web of life and destiny, which makes sense with the character of Madam Web. And instead what I got was a film that seemed to have once again been multiple scripts slammed together at the last minute to get a film together without any kind of logical understanding of how human beings work in any given situation.
That bit's the fucking worst. Just the shit that it's like.
I'm here to protect you. I've just protected you from a crazy guy who seems to know where you are no matter what you do. And if you use your powers, he definitely knows where you are. So what I'm going to do now is leave you for 6 hours in the woods. And then have a go at him for not wanting to be in the fucking woods.
The problem...
None of these are the biggest
so
thing.
Here's the thing,
biggest
right?
thing is the entire film is after-dubbed badly.
Like, I'm sorry, but some people try and say, "Oh no, you're just hating it because it's a one-led thingy movie." I'm like, no. I love the Marvels.
God.
The Marvels is one of my favorite actual Phase 4 or 5 movies that has come out, and it's not amazing. I love it because I think even Jax knows this is personal bias. Camilla Khan is one of my favorite characters. I love that character, and I love Iman Veli as playing her because she's fucking brilliant as that character. She plays that character just like from reading the comics, how I would imagine that character would be. It's like it's no to do with and there's so many the problem I have with Madam Web is the storyline is shit. The actresses did as good a job as they could do with a shit story. That's the problem. Those actresses, you could tell they were most of them were putting in all their effort that they could do to make a shit story sound good, and that's what's so bad.
There was nothing there. I mean, the film really should have been the first half where you've got the first half of the film. You get the same as what you already get. Her mum goes into the jungle. She needs help from the people that she needs help from, but then. You then lead into the modern day with her and Ben as these paramedics, blah, 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 blah. Then Ezekiel comes after these 3 people that will become Spider Women in the future. And then she does all her things that she does there and saves them. And you get to the point where, there's a point there where he can't find them. And you know what would have been good then? You come back a few years later... and you've got these girls starting to use their abilities or come into their abilities or fight or the accidents that happen that give them their abilities happen.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Ezekiel can start seeing where they are again. And then you get Madam Web coming in with actual Madam Web type powers. But there'll be some reason why she can't fully use them now. But she has to guide instead of saving these women, she guides them like she would guide a young Peter Parker later on in the timeline.
Oh yeah, and that's the part that's it's just like you had a good idea for a story, but then you just kind of went. You just kind of.
This is my problem with the Marvels as well. I have two of my favourite characters in there. So I love Captain Marvel. I love all iterations of Captain Marvel, from Marvel up to Carol Danvers in the comic books. Miss Marvel, I wasn't reading comic books during the whole different Marvel scene. I actually I came across Miles Morales through the Ultimates, which I was reading on and off.
Yeah.
I came across Camilla Khan whilst playing the Marvels video game that no one likes. I like it.
Oh, Avengers.
Kind of like
the Avengers.
Yes.
Yeah, I played that single player. I enjoyed it. The minute I finished the story, though, I was like, I'm not replaying these missions just to do these dailies and do this shit. That I don't like.
I played a lot of it. And I fell in love with Camilla Khan as the character on there. It made me read some comic books again. I actually got back into reading comic books quite regularly again because I wanted to read who Camilla Khan was.
Yeah, well, I like Camilla Khan because I like the change. I like the fact that it sounds bad, but I kind of like the fact that it seems that they're slowly erasing the Inhumans. In the sense of
there are reasons.
There are reasons, but the reasons behind them being made was because, unfortunately, at the time, someone else owned the rights to the X-Men, and they needed a group to do the same, to represent the same sort of thing in the comics.
And the Inhumans were that.
Yeah.
In every aspect.
But now that they have them back, there is no point. They don't need them anymore. And to be fair, the X-Men's like storylines, in my opinion, did that whole stuff better. Like, I guess we've talked about X-Men 97 at the beginning of this episode. This episode is also extra long because we're still recording. It's been like an hour and a half. But like, we're talking about X-Men 97, the fact that the creator's been fired. We don't know. Apparently it's because he has an OnlyFans, but that's apparently the reason why. Which kind of unfortunately means, which I understand why if it is, because unfortunately companies like that have to have a morality clause, and as it's a show that's unfortunately going to be aimed at kids, they would have to get rid of him because they can't risk that messing with their name, if you know what I mean.
Let's put it this way: if the morality clause was the thing that the thing that ultimately allowed Disney to drop
Gina, what's her name? Sereno, I believe.
Yes, her. Also, John Majors. But in the past, other people that have had quite a lucrative contract with them, both front and forward of behind camera. And you know, if they didn't have these morality clauses in there, they would still be working it, and all you would hear is, "You've got to get rid of them. You've got to get rid of them. This is disgusting. This is disgraceful." They'll be saying, "Yeah, but if we just fire them, we're going to have to give them $500 million." So the morality clause is an important thing they do use for it. It's meant to be for more extreme things, but
it's also, I will say that the OnlyFans thing is, unfortunately, it's early. It is technically, even though OnlyFans has been around for a couple of years now, it is still early days in the whole shift in society where stuff like that is probably just going to eventually, the stuff like that won't be even a fucking thing in the morality clause. It'll just be, whatever. It's a fucking part of society eventually, which, one...
Yes, I mean, my weird argument with that is that, you know, yes, OnlyFans is this interestingly new thing in a weird way. It's that anyone can go on there and get paid for...
Oh, yeah.
Getting nude or doing whatever they want. But then again, you also had readers' wives in porno mags for many years, in which women could just sell some pictures of their boobs for 50 quid. So it's not exactly like it is a majorly new thing.
No, it's not a majorly new thing.
Not.
It's because it's such prevalent and easily accessible is the thing that makes it so... That's basically what it is. It's because it's so accessible, it's kind of... It's in that stage where it's accessible and it's unfortunately, it's just people are able to do this themselves rather than having to go through, like...
Although, we are talking about OnlyFans for a laugh. Did you hear what happened at the Gamer Awards with the competitor to OnlyFans called Fansly?
No, what happened?
Well, Fansly does exactly the same thing as OnlyFans. You can go on there and you can sell any kind of sexual content you wish to the world. And it is actually used apparently by a lot more of the Twitch streamers if you're interested.
No.
But, porn is free. Just Google it.
Exactly.
Anyway,
that's why. And we're not promoting porn
quick.
here to kids, but we are.
They
But we're
gave
just.
away anyone that was watching the Gamer Awards, either live in the audience or watching live on the screen, a QR code or one free subscription to any account, or I believe it was any account on Ansley. All you had to do was sign up. Now, you would expect that to do this, you're going to need to do some age verification. Unfortunately, via this particular QR code, whilst signing up was just a case of add your email, add a quick password, and you get boobs.
Boobs.
Yeah, they fucked up. And now they claim that no one under the age of 18 did get access to a free subscription. They kind of have to say that because I believe it at the moment it is just under $1 million per infraction of allowing a child to see underage material without any kind of guideline or stopping point in the way. And literally the bare minimum to stop you from getting that fine, by the way, is a little tick box you have to say is, are you under the age of 18?
Yeah, yes, sir.
I
totally under the age of 18.
Yeah, exactly. It's that foolproof. You know, if you're an idiot that says, yes, I am under 18, then you're a fool. Right? You don't deserve the porn. Everyone else has worked it out. Apparently, according to some people I've seen online, they forgot to even add the question.
Oops.
Um,
This sounds like a way of getting themselves in a lot of shit.
yes. Yes. They did, after a few complaints and questions, did actually pull that very fast, but I'm sure so did a lot of young viewers.
Oh yeah. The fact that they showed that live on the live stream is even worse, because live stream doesn't even... It's easy to get around on live streams, let's be freaking honest.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was a bad move. It was a bad move. If you want to look more into that one, you should definitely look up Penguin 0/Moist Critical /Charlie. His take on that, because it was funny. It was funny. I mean, bad. It is bad. But the situation was funny.
It's just it's
Also,
hilarious.
If you're from the UK and born anywhere before, I don't know, 2000, because that's when everyone started to get mobile phones that could do shit, you definitely found porn in a bush once. So it's not like you didn't.
Probably outside your sister's window as well. I'm not even... I had to make that joke, I couldn't resist.
Don't even unpack that one. Just leave that one.
Yeah, not unpacking it. It's just, let's be honest. Fucking so many creeps in the UK.
Oh, I just assumed it was outside your sister's window. It's probably your sister's.
No, it's just so many creeps. Oh my god, I'm being... Every AI wants me dead, apparently. Apparently they want me dead because I'm the bomb general. I'm being attacked by fucking... By, what are they called? Hot Wheels. That's it.
Love some Hot Wheels.
I think everyone loves Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels is awesome. We shall be seen by all. I don't know why I said it in that voice, but fuck. I'm losing it. Where's my builder? Apparently, the other GLA says we're not allowed to live in peace, my friend.
Oh, that's a not fair.
I am a 4-star general, apparently. Okay. Have you seen my tank?
I have not seen your tank.
Look at this
Oh,
tank.
that's a very nice tank.
This is a fucking weird ass tank.
I just like the fact it just drives over everything and just kills it.
Oh no, that's just my buildings being destroyed. I lost like a bunch of my freaking buildings. I lost one of my war factories.
No.
And replaced it with a barracks. Alright, other GLA. You and I are going to have a little word called tank warfare. I didn't realise how big that was.
Yeah, that's like when you do a nuke attack on
Shit.
planetary attack on civilization. You're like, I've messed, I might have messed that up.
Suicide attack! I have suicide bombs. Note to self. That explosion is bigger than I thought, but also, I'm going to go build one in the enemy base. I just have to get past that turret and I can build it in their base.
What the heck? Too large for, yeah, because I want to turn into a mouse, but it won't let me turn into a mouse.
Why not a bear?
Because I need to be small to get into the hole.
Oh. You don't want to be unbearable then.
And not right now. So go into here. And go into your yeah, so it should just be here.
Man. For how smart the
Sounds
AI
fun.
is in this mod. Destroying power generators. Oh, fuck off. There's a sucking Terminator in my base. They fucking brought a Terminator into my base. And by the way, that is an actual Terminator. There is a unit in this game that is called a Terminator.
Sounds about right.
I mean, it is an actual robotic Terminator, and it's fucking terrifying when it shows up.
Well, that's interesting. I don't know how to. I don't
Told
know
it.
how to continue.
Where are my palace? I built a palace and then no. I have a dolphin on the runway, apparently. I am now a 5-star general. I don't like the devil.
So many rituals. It would be unwise. I don't safe to encourage. Oh, no, that's not the one I want. I want this one.
Suicide bombers. I'm just a peasant.
Ah, there you go.
What the hell did they come from? Our courage will be seen by all. I just run over some dude. I'm
That's the
not.
best way to do it. That's how I did it in Grand Theft Auto.
Well, I'm going to lose this battle. I may have put everyone in a. Everyone is on a free for all, but everyone apparently hates me over each other. So apparently it's fuck me, right?
But I mean, you've obviously screwed this one right up.
What?
You just screwed this one right up. I can see that from the outset.
Well, I'm playing GLA. I was playing random GLA. But probably should have started up like somewhere else rather than starting down here. But anyway, I'm going to end the stream, my wonderful viewers.
I think that's a good idea.
In fact, because we've not got much else to talk about in regards to it. At the minute, it has been, in terms of nerd stuff. At the minute, we've been a bit quiet, but
It's been a while.
it's been a while. But unfortunately, with me being sick over the last few weeks and Jack's being busy, preoccupied, we've not been able to actually record these for a while. But good news. Well, good news for me, bad news for you. There may be more videos coming to the channel soon. I'm going to discuss with me and Jax will discuss what we might record first, and I think we might have the first episode up for you in 2 weeks. But also, we will. Normally, we keep as you know, we keep these podcasts on a semi-regular basis of every 2 weeks as we try. We will probably record one next week just to fill in the gap. I hope you've all had fun, and if you've watched this rambling of two insane British people, I hope you've had fun and enjoyed listening to our